Ah, good morning. Here we are in Italy, and I'm reading one of my favorite books about one of Italy's patron sons, Leonardo da Vinci. It's a great book, How to Think Like Leonardo da Vinci by Michael Gelb. It's one of my favorite books, and I'm having a nice glass of Chianti wine, so this is La Dolce Vita, the good life. Actually, we're going to be working in this beautiful olive grove today. So these are olive trees here. There's probably, I think, about 18 of them on this property. And so we're going to lace these out. I'm going to do some structural work on these trees. And of course, Italy is known for a number of things: pizza, olive oil, beautiful women, Lamborghinis, Ferraris. But today we're going to have fun with the olive trees. So we're going to be lacing them out, and it's an endemic tree to semi-arid coastal desert climates. They like less versus more water, and so this is a gorgeous property. As we work our way through it, we'll take some more shots a little bit later on. But I'm going to get busy with my trusty blade, and we'll start lacing these out, and we'll check in with you later. So this is Gary Walker, the Tree Whisperer, out. Quando paramucho mi amore che felice corazon. Buongiorno, senores and people of the world and the universe. This is Gary, the Tree Whisperer. This tree was really messy a short while ago, so I've cleaned it out. You can see it's all opened up. The structure is revealed. All the heavy pendulous weight that was putting more pressure on these leaders is gone. And now we have a picture perfect tree just right for Rome or the Vatican or any place. We're totally in Italy today. This is an olive tree. We make olive oil from this. You know, aside from Popeye, this is still olive oil. Now let's go on down to this tree, because this tree over here is what this tree looked like a little while ago. So you can do a nice A-B. There's A and here's B. So in a while, when I get done with this tree will look like that tree. So it'll still be natural, it'll be beautiful, minus all the heavy weight, and it will be good to go. So I'm going to work on this one now, my Italian friends, for a little while, me and my trusty razor sharp blade. And we're going to do some Italian stallion type of pruning on this, and we'll be back in a little bit. Hi everybody, this is Gary Walker, the Tree Whisperer, with my trusty chainsaw, saving the world one tree at a time, as you can see on my video at GaryWalkerOnline.com. If you check out the video Symphony of Life, you'll see me with my chainsaw saving the rainforest one tree at a time. Right now though, we're in Italy, and so I had my trusty little silver razor sharp blade before. Now I've got to use some heavier equipment. This chainsaw, it's a very good piece of equipment because I have to remove a very large branch that's overhanging over here. So it's a little too big for my silver handsaw, so I'm going to cut it down with this. So we'll watch this, and then after this, Nate's going to pan down and show you the rest of the woolly trees, and then we'll take a shot later when they're all cleaned out. So watch this, and I'm going to make a little noise now. Oh, I first should say, ladies and gentlemen, when we make a cut with a chainsaw and it's a heavy branch, first thing we want to do is we take most of the weight off. We don't cut it right near the final cut because we don't want to strip the bark down in the trunk, which would leave an open wound. Not good. So you'll see me, I'll cut off most of it first, then I'll come make my second cut a really clean cut. Method to the madness. Now we took this big branch off. I made a nice clean cut. In fact, I don't know if you can even see this water dripping out of there. Can you catch that? Well, most of it's gone now. Okay, a lot of times trees will have excess water. These trees are all grossly overwatered here, as I've told the owner, so hopefully they're going to back down on the water. When trees get overwatered and they're not meant to have that much water, like a semi-arid coastal desert type of tree like an olive tree, when you make a big cut, this already has a little opening right in the heartwood, which is not a good sign. When I cut that, water literally gushed out of there, it poured out of there. So that's not too unusual, and that's really all that means. So if you were thirsty, I guess you'd be drinking olive water instead of olive oil. All right, I'll see you later. I got to get to work. Okay, so we're just panning down the line. I'm working my way down the line, me and my trusty Italian pole. This is Gary Walker, the Tree Whisperer. So come on down here, let's have a look. So you can see they've all got the initial cuts on them. They're starting to look pretty good. And so this is the last one in this line that we're going to be taking care of here. So I'm going to go in here and open it up, kind of liberate it a little bit from this beautiful orange exotic trumpet flower. And we just kind of pan one more time down the line here. You can see all the trunks now are starting to reveal themselves. So we have gorgeous classic Italian Lamborghini, Ferrari, Milano type of architecture and aesthetic. That's why we just love the Italians. They just got it going on. I got to get to work now. Gary the Tree Whisperer, back to work. Oh, hello my friends. Arrivederci. Guido, the Tree Whisperer in Rome, speaking to you live from my Tuscan villa. What we have here now, these are a form of pear. It's called a decorative pear tree. They're usually filled with lots of millions of beautiful little white flowers in spring. Then the flowers turn to the leaf. Unlike most fruiting trees, first the flower, then the fruit. It's called a decorative pear because it doesn't bear fruit. Kind of looks like a pear, but it's not. So anyways, this is more than a pear. This is three. So I'm going to work on these three right here. And let's bring the camera over here. I want to point out an injury. So apparently some time ago, one of the reasons I got this call here, a large branch sheared off in the motor court here. A lot of delivery trucks come here. This brings up another good point. You'll see it's kind of black and like tar. And this is one of the urban myths on planet Earth, and kind of like the pet rock, the guy that made, millions of dollars from getting people to buy his pet rock. This is another thing just like that. It's proven scientifically to be not efficacious at all. For a time, people thought it was wise to put a dark pitch that they bought at the hardware store or wherever on a tree wound. Well, before humans came along as either fish or apes, trees were healing themselves for hundreds of millions of years, billions of years. So, in fact, you can even see this kind of round, curvy little edge right here. That's where the tree is now compartmentalizing. So it forms callus wood, or a barrier zone, to protect the wood on the interior from any further rot. This is a pretty bad tear. I can stick my fingers 3-4 inches into that. Nothing we can do about it right now. Whoever tried to correct this did a pretty crude job with whatever implement they were using, but this is what we have to deal with at this point. So I'm going to fix this tree up. I'm going to lace it out. Then I'm going to lace these out kind of Lamborghini style over here. So we're going to have these looking really sweet very shortly. So, oh, you caught me. I'm like a bird taking a bird bath. It's such a hot Italian day. Oh my God, mi amore. All right, we still got a lot more work to do. So here's what we're going to do now. So you see we have this beautiful stone arch, and we also have this beautiful but invasive huge branch from this olive tree. We're still working on tons of olives. So I came up with a plan. Being an artist, I also bring my artistic perspective to my scientific understanding of trees, arboriculture, botany, and all of that. So hence my tagline that came to me many years ago. It's trademarked. It's called Harmonizing Nature, Art, and Science. So that's what I try to do. So bringing my artistic perspective, I persuaded the owners. They have such a beautiful stone arch. Let's have both the trees and the arch live together in a way that doesn't conflict with each other. So I'm going to remove this really large branch here, and then that'll open the arch up. And then we're going to come over here, and I'm going to remove this big branch right here that's hanging over the arch, and then I'm going to take all of this off right on down to here, and that'll give a really clean look to this fabulous arch that looks like, it could be part of the Appian Way. It could go back a couple thousand years to the glory days of Rome and Caesar. So anyways, I'm going to get to work now that I've cooled off in the fountain of life, and I'm going to call you back in just a minute. We'll have a look and see what kind of a mess I made. Hopefully I've improved the situation. Work here. So there's a way to dismantle a big branch properly, and there's a way to not do it correctly. So yeah, it would be easy for me to just kind of cut that big branch down at the bottom, let it fall and everything, but I think I'm going to go for the other approach and just take it apart piece by piece. So I'm going to just saw off some of these larger limbs at the top. Notice it's going to come down. A little olive oil coming down here. Boing. There we go. Woo! Okay, got that. Now we're going to taking this thing apart piece by piece. Branch by branch. Watch out. There we go. Timber. Okay, now I'm going to fire up the chainsaw so you can see how we do this. Want to put on, you over there? Good, you want to put on eye protection. And there, I want to just show you something. So anyway, so we cut that down. That's nice. Now we want to cut it to the ground. So this is a really nice view of the olive wood. It's a very hard wood. It's actually prized by woodworkers. So it's a really good wood to turn, make bowls out of, beautiful wood objects. You can see it's got a really nice grain to it. And then when you get an old olive tree like this, I've had occasion to remove old trees. It's kind of a shame, but the trunk part the burl is just beautiful. So the grain and the burl wood, you make tables, you make other beautiful bowls and wood objects out of it. So it's a good wood to turn, and if you had to burn it, I guess you could burn it as well. It's pretty hard wood. Okay, hi everybody, this is Gary Walker, the Tree Whisperer. So we're just following up on this little mini project over here. As you can see, I've cleared away the arch, we took away the olive tree, and we now have this beautiful stone arch revealed. And then we've got the two flanking olive trees that we're just finishing up, thus creating a much cleaner, neater look. And it just works out beneficial for everybody. So this is Gary, the Tree Whisperer, out. Thank you.